Tak apa, kita tengok lagi ni tunggu jap. 7, normally 7 of 7 normally 11 normally. Okay, we start slowly lah. Alright, module 2. Backend development. Alright, backend development. So today we will do introduction to min stack. Today you will do introduction to min stack. It's been a while. I hope you don't forget the things. So these are some of the things that you're going to do. So JavaScript, we have say 3 weeks, I think. JavaScript module 1. Part 1, part 2, part 3 kan. Part 1 is the for loop if else, data type. Part 2 is where you see the object oriented and array. Part 3 is your Ajax. Bukan Ajax. So what is your DOM manipulation, right? So that's 3 parts on week 1, but you have another part here which is called advanced JavaScript, where we use here about asynchronous programming. That's what we're going to do today. And then you're going to build a backend. So backend development is where you store your data inside the application. Database, you will see 2 types of database: relational and non-relational. Other than that, there's another thing which is called graph database as well. So this is for your information really lah, right? What is the difference between relational and non-relational? Relational ni macam table, right? It's like a table. Well, where non-relational there is no format. For those who have done module 3, Walid, for example, in module 3, they already saw Firebase, right? So Firebase is an example of a non-relational database. Then you have min stack. We will learn all this: mongodb, express.js, react.js, and node.js. Right? And then you have cloud platform. You're going to see some of the example of cloud platform is AWS, Google Cloud Platform, and Azure. But we're going to focus only on AWS for this. DevOps introduction, right? If we have time, we will do DevOps and system to system connection as well. Okay, so what are we going to build? All right, we're going to build a REST API. So REST API is where you will have a database, and then inside the database, macam lain lah, whatever. You will have a database. Inside the database, you will just share myself. Okay, I will show this one. Macam sebab ada benda yang macam tak outdated. You will create a database, alright, and then inside the database you get the data. So this one you imagine, for those who have done the Google Drive last time, right? Google Sheet exercise is something similar to the Google Sheet exercise last time. Then this API, right, we will have authentication and security. So it has login, register, password encryption, and etc. The system might be connecting to other system, right? So the system might be connecting to other system. For example, emailing, server or anything. This one tak ada, right? So that's why ini tak ada, right? And then you connect your system to your front end using Vue.js. Betul, perasaan nama dia. Vue.js, and later, right, you may connect your back end through Vue.js, and later using React.js. Right? So you will learn a new framework as well, which is called React.js, a slightly advanced version of Vue.js. Okay, same thing. All right. So you have class on Wednesday and Thursday. This time around it's on Wednesday and Thursday. You have exercises, all right, and then code challenge ni lagi banyak. Last time you have, I think, most of it is application based. So you need to do application code challenge instead of the module 1 punya code challenge, right? Module 1 you have to resolve problem and things, more on exercising the logic, but in module 2 is more on building stuff, right? You have to build this API and everything, right? Project as well, alright. So you might be given a project. I might ask you to create an API that will do this and this, and then you have to try to build it. If you remember API is, if you have no idea, if you forget whatever that I'm talking about, if you remember the Harry Potter punya Harry Potter things, OMDB API. Right, and then you have this is how an API looks like, right? So last time I give you an API, and then you show it inside your website or something, but this one is you going to create this, right? It can be anything. This one is movie, right? It could be the place to visit. It could be things that you can do during PKP, right? It can be anything, right? It can be places of interest. It can be restaurant. It can be food panda or anything. So that's the difference. Last time people have to you have to get it from people. You are only restricted to what is already available for you, but this time around you are going to create it, right? You're going to create it, and then you can call it from your front end, from your website, or from your app. What happened to everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Macam tak ramai je. 5 out of 11. Something might be wrong somewhere. I dah habis lah. Okay, so module 2 project requirement. Module you actually going to create something like booking, all right, booking or booking API, all right. Last time, for example, if I'm not mistaken, we did something virtual coach API, virtual coach API, or it could be something that's related to me, for example, pengurusan, right? School material management or something, right? Or it could be quiz API. If you remember, for those who have done quiz API before, Walid might already done lah. Walid and Faiz. That one you use the limited API, limited quizzes, right? But this one you can add your own quiz. Right? So for this one for rest of you, if you want to check, you can check out this API. If you want to know what I'm talking about lah, but you will do this. You will do this on module 3. You will create an app using Open Trivia database on module 3. All right, you're going to create CMS. What is a CMS? CMS stands for Content Management System, because normally you have the API. But let's say that we create this kind of API. All right, the API that will return quizzes, yang ada apa, you have the questions, you have the correct answer, you have the incorrect answer, right? So somebody need to fill in, somebody need to enter these questions. I can show you one of the examples, right? Macam apa? This is my lebih kurang quiz API, quizzes or something. Right, this is by something similar to Open Trivia database, but this one is we can create ourselves. So somebody need to fill in all these questions, right? So we provide a platform, a UI, right? You want to add questions, what type of questions, A, B, C, D, and everything. It is an ABCD questions, right? ABCD questions. Put in the question there, right? Put in the construct is bahan bacaan. Construct is articles, right? And then you select the answer, or the correct answer. So you need to create this kind of page so that it will be easier for somebody who want to add questions inside the database, and later the question will be retrieved inside there. So this is what we call a CMS, content management system. So you need to create this as well to manage the content inside your API. Your API will have login and authentication function. All right, people can log in, register through your API. If you want, right, you can add intelligent features within the API. So you can have recommendation, you can call other API, you can send email, you can push notification, you can send push notification and everything, or you can get data from different websites. So for example, your API can call other API, and then it will become a rich API. Okay, any questions so far? Module 2? Orang lupa ke? Ada kelas 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me...
Faiz dia tak perasan.
Kan? No, sebab apa, half is not in. And then some more I dah nak sampai part where installation. So by the time installation, maybe better everyone's here kan. Okay, some of you might already saw this website. So if you have not done, if you have not seen this website, let's see this together. The website is called Stackshare. All right, Stackshare.io. All right, so stackshare.io is a website that we shared to you the tools, the stacks, all the tools, all the stack from that's available that you can use, the move inside your project. right? And you can see the most popular, what is the most popular tool and everything, right? And then what tool is used by Airbnb or something, right? So for example, we go to browse tags. Under browse tags, you have all the list of companies, right? All the list of companies, big companies are who want to share their technology, right, to the public. So you can see it there: Pinterest, Uber, Airbnb, One Signal, Instagram, and everything. So Facebook, Delivery Hero. Yeah. I'm curious to see what Delivery Hero is. Delivery Hero is for Panda, right? Delivery Hero is for Panda. So I select this one, Delivery Hero. And then these are all the products that are available under Delivery Hero. Let's see their Delivery Hero app. Let's see their Delivery app. Okay. Okay, so these are all the technology that is used inside Delivery Hero. Alright, you have the language. JavaScript, Python, Node.js, PHP, React, MongoDB, Postgres, MySQL, Java, HTML5. Some of it you might be familiar, tapi ni terlampau banyak ni. Pusing balik lah, right? Pusing balik. I will select something that is simpler first. Airbnb lah. I think Airbnb quite simple. We select Airbnb first. And then I go to Airbnb here. Alright, sikit again, sikit lah. 4 lines, alright. JavaScript, React, NGX, Java, MySQL, Ruby, SAS, EC2, S3, Redis, CloudFront, Rails, RDS, Hadoop, Elasticcache, Apple, Druid, Presto, EBS, Airflow. Okay, so you have these tools, alright. From these tools, normally you can always categorize into 4 things. Right, so normally you can categorize the API, the tools, into 4 things. The first one is what we call the database, and then we have the front end framework, and then you have the operating system or runtime environment, and then finally you have the web server. All right, so this is normally 4 categories in a stack. Okay, so kita tengok Airbnb is down. Alright, Airbnb. Anyone find out? MySQL, right? For example, MySQL is an example of a database. Front-end framework. Just now I was talking about React, kan? I was talking about React.js. So React.js is an example of a front-end framework. Runtime environment is not really runtime environment is operating system EC2, but this one you will see together. EC2. Alright, EC2 is basically Linux, right? Linux. And then you have web server, right? Web server, for example, is NGX. Right, so this is an example from Airbnb, but it's not only it. It has more stuff there, right? It has more stuff. So for example, JavaScript, NGX, Java, MySQL. Redis is actually a database, right? Redis is actually a database. Okay, and then you go there, Amazon S3, SAS, Ruby, CloudFront, Rails. RDS is actually a database. RDS is also a database, and then the others too. The others is something else. Okay, so that's for Airbnb, right? That's for Airbnb. Okay, I will go to Uber. Right? I will go to Uber, for example. We try one more with Uber. So same thing as well. Normally you you have 4 category. I copy the category first. Okay, we have cari database tu, right? Something that some of it we already go through just now. Mongo ni, Postgres, MongoDB, Redis. Alright, Postgres, MongoDB, Redis. Semua ni we saw just now. Postgres something that you will never see it lah. And then you have apa lagi tak database. Alright. I think biasanya normally yang ada DB normally the one with DB ni database lah. I also not familiar with it, so I think this one also is database. Ni bukan lah. This is their own database lah. This is their own database by Uber. Okay, then EC2 just now, right? You saw EC2 is an operating system. Then you have front-end library, jQuery, React, jQuery, React. So this one is front-end framework. You have jQuery, React. Just now web server, I see NGX, Nginx. Itulah right, NGX. Okay, so that's an example of category of stack and the different technologies of a stack. Sometimes you see most of the time on this big project, and they might have more than one, right? Database, for example, ini ada 3. Uber, for example, you see this one has 4. Front end have 2 and everything. So it might not, it might be more than one, right? It might be more than one. Okay, from here to this for this one, you will see 2 main one. All right, the first main one is called LAMP. This is like the most basic standard database. All right, so you have LAMP, stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, Python. Okay, from here, do you know which one is what? Which one is, just now I was talking about database, front-end framework, operating system, web server, right? So you identify what you know first, then only you eliminate by apa? Ni lah by omission, right? So all same thing, it will have this, but which one is what? Some of the thing is already repeated, so that one should be easy. Okay, database. MySQL, alright, this one we already covered. Database MySQL. Front-end framework, the PHP, Python. Ini the old skill lah, right? Technically, PHP, and Python is a language. But sebab dia the old school kan, Python je pun salah on this picture. Operating system, alright, this one we saw just now on previous slide, Linux. And then web server by omission, alright, by omission web server is actually Apache. Right, so you're going to see this. This is like the most popular, one of the most used stack as well, right? Because why is most popular? Because some of the, if you just now, if you remember about CMS, if you remember, I mentioned about CMS. CMS means content management system, all right? So it's a website that allow you to create contents, that allow you to create a website easily. Okay, on Slack, anyone knows some of the popular CMS in the world? Ni lama sangat. Huh? Lama sangat cuti ni everyone like have a long holiday.
Popular apa sih?
Huh?
Soalan siapa tadi?
Some of the popular CMS in the world. Walid pun cuti 2 minggu. Semalam baru saya tengok you punya GitHub kemarin kan. Cuti 2 minggu. Ramai cuti ni CMS. Some of the most popular CMS if you heard something or content management system.
Kalau Skillshare atau Udemy kira
Itu they might have their own CMS, right? They might have their own CSS. Tapi the one that the popular one is actually, for example, WordPress. Alright, WordPress is an example of a. Pernah dengar? Anyone heard WordPress? Pernah dengar? Anyone heard WordPress before? If you want to learn how to create a website, right? They
Wix kan sama juga sih.
Wix is a website builder. Wix is a website builder. WordPress is actually a content management system. Dia lain sikit. Magento, do you know Magento? So I will list down some of it. So some of the most popular content management system is WordPress, Drupal, Magento. WordPress, Drupal, Magento. Apa lagi? WooCommerce by WordPress. So anyone knows anything? Ada tak sesiapa tahu? Anyone familiar with any of this? WordPress.
WordPress dengan WordPress je pernah.
WordPress je
WordPress dengan WooCommerce lah.
WooCommerce.
Tapi tak banyak sangat guna lah WordPress tu.
Anyone knows anything else? Zencat. Zencat is for e-commerce, right? Zencat, Shopify. Right? For those who use ni lah. Sometimes what is this? This is the tools, right? It's a tools. I'm not saying it's a website anymore. It's a tools that allow you to create content-based website easily, right? So for example, WordPress is being used to create blogs, articles, magazines, corporate website easily. Right? So that's what WordPress is. Magento and WooCommerce, for example, and Shopify is being used to create product-based website, right? E-commerce website, and then you can do it within. You can create it within 1 hour lah. 1 hour you you set up everything, and then you just put in content and then make the website. Some of the even big website also is actually using the content management system. How to check? We can go just now. I show you stackshare.io. Now I show you another one is called buildwith. So buildwith.com. So how buildwith works? You just enter a website address. Alright, you just enter a website address. So for example, I want to check Nialofa, all right, Nialofa, all right, Nialofa hijab. No, this is not that I'm a fan of Nialofa, but I want to show you, right, because I know it's built by what, right? You see, it's sophisticated and everything, or canggih, ada catalog and everything. But if you look at Nialofa, you go down, right, you can see that it's actually being built by Magento, right? So I already mentioned it. This is to build an e-commerce website. Siti Khadijah, right? So I mentioned this because I know lah it was built by what. So Siti Khadijah, kita tengok. So the three big tudung company. Normally I always research that. So one is Magento, right? Another one is WooCommerce. I think it's WooCommerce. I think WooCommerce, right? WooCommerce is used to build an e-commerce website. WooCommerce means it's used WordPress lah. Satu lagi apa? The three big tudung. Nialofa, Siti Khadijah, Simplicity, bukan tudung lah, right? Ini some of them, Simplicity by Siti Nohaliza. Siapa yang right, you put there, you go down. WooCommerce as well, WooCommerce. So you can check any website, right? You can check any website. You can see the technology behind the website. Sometimes it's customized lah, right? Sometimes it's customized. So if I put asia.com, I'm sure that it's not using it's being used ni lah, right? If you don't see anything, right? If you don't see anything, it means that it's being built in-house, right? It's being built in-house. If I put foodpanda.com also, I'm sure that it's being built in-house and everything. So Foodpanda, WordPress. Huh?
In-house maksudnya apa?
Dia built dari scratch. It builds from scratch. Foodpanda is built using WordPress. I think the website is built using WordPress lah. Right? Some of the websites is built using WordPress. In-house macam you buat lah, the one that you did, right? It creates from HTML. From HTML, it create a JavaScript, Vue.js or React.js, and then from there, then they create a database and everything. Itu maksudnya. Like you do module 1, and then you do the Vue.js or React.js part, and then you do the API. Kalau orang-orang ni, all these people, alright, they never need to create API like we do, alright. Some more I encourage that, right? If you're free, if you have free time, you can just do. Later we will learn how to install WordPress. But it's quite at the end of the class, week 6 or week 7. But if you do, you can do that, right? How to create a website with WordPress or something. Right. So if you want, right, if you are curious, I encourage you to have a look at all these videos. Right? Take something from freecodecamp lah. Take something from freecodecamp. WordPress for beginners. I'm not going to cover it in that detail, so that's why I encourage you to watch it. Okay, next one. So lamp stack done. All right. So why Lamstack is popular, because all this Zencat tadi just like Safa mentioned, but this one, at least the first five that I mentioned is actually built using Lamstack, right? You need a Linux for you need a Linux server, you need an Apache server, you need to know a little bit. If you want to do customization, you need to know a little bit per PHP, per Python, and you need to have a little bit knowledge on MySQL. All right, so that's why it's one of the most commonly used. You see, semua tadi Siti Nurhaliza, Nia Lo-Fi, everyone is using all this stack. And then you have another stack, all right? Another stack which is called min stack, all right? Min stack. This one I don't need to ask you the question already, because it's already written there, right? So you have MongoDB, which is a database system. You have Express, which is the backend web framework. You have AngularJS, which is the front-end framework. And you have Node.js, right, back-end runtime environment. Just now, if you remember, right, you have PHP, Python. This one pun lebih kurang. You have MERN, MEVN. So it's either MERN, MERN, or MEVN. So MERN is for Angular, MERN is for React, and MEVN is for Vue. So the third language could be anything, but for our class, I don't teach Angular because Angular dia old school sikit. So I teach you MEVN. So you already learn V, you already learn the V part, and now you are going to learn the R part. And then it's up to you, right? You want it to be MEVN, or you want it to be MERN. That one is up to you. Which one you want to focus? Okay, so why we use the MEA or MEA or R or VN? MEA R or VN stack. Why we use this stack? So because it simplifies. It is actually a technology that simplifies and accelerates web development technology because it's free. Right? It's free. It's open source. It's 100% on JavaScript and HTML. You're going to use one language throughout the application, and that language we have seen on module 1, which is called JavaScript. Right, so that's the advantage of min stack, and that is adhere to MVC concept. And nanti dapat this one you see in detail, and you have to understand a lot of JSON. Right. Just now also actually saya terlupa something. Where were we just now? We were at Stackshare now. Stackshare.io. Alright, just now I go to browse text. There's another tab which is called Explore Tools. Alright, so under Explore Tools, alright, you can see all the tools. Just now you saw from a company's perspective, right, company by company. But this one you saw by tools perspective, right? So you have all the language, JavaScript, right? You have GitHub, you have Python, VS Code, Git, Node.js, Docker. Right? I think this one is by top. So you have number one tools that being used is JavaScript. Most of the people use JavaScript now. You have GitHub, all right? GitHub, I think everyone uses it. You have Python, number 3. You have VS Code, right? VSC, you will use it by the end of this module. You will use VSC. Last time you used Sublime, right? This module somewhere when you do React, we use VSC, but to start we still use Sublime. Sublime. You have Git, right? So you learned about Git already. Did I teach you how to upload to the batch 24? Did I teach you how to upload using command line on Git or not? I can't remember. I don't think so because normally I teach on module 2 or module 3. Tak ada, tak ingat. I think this module you will learn a little bit Git command line, right? So you will learn a little bit command line. how to upload to Git. Even for Walid, actually, yeah, I'm not sure if you noticed or not. There's a new change on Git. I think last 2 weeks, where you cannot use username and password anymore. You have to use key. So at least we can see that together. What need to be changed and everything. You have Node.js, right? You have Node.js, Docker, React, HTML5, MySQL. So these are all the tools. These are all the tools, and it's arranged by popularity. Okay, so before we go for a break, I think we have around 10 more minutes. Normally I do 7:30 and everything, right? So I will just create a new page here. So the full stack journey, the full stack journey. So when you do module one, we never think of a full stack life, right? When we do module two, some of the things that I say might be repeated, lah, right? But take it as a revision as well. Sebab mungkin Walid dah nampak, alright? Mungkin Walid dah nampak and everything. So just now, alright, when you select when you want to be a full stack, right? You always have to select a front end, right? Front end web development, right? You have backend development, front app web framework, right? Then you have the database, and then you have your runtime environment. This one we have front environment, database, runtime environment. Then you have the web server. We just add, right? Sometimes people Okay, I don't know, sorry, for no reason it restarted. For no reason it restarted my laptop. Restarted. Okay, let me try to finish it. Cepat sikit. Alright, so you have front end database, runtime environment, you have web server, and then you. Now we talk about mobile app now, right? So mobile app, something that you might see on module 3. Right. Ada dua lagi actually. One is actually desktop app. Alright. Desktop app is this or the Slack, all these are desktop app. Data science. Sorry, data science. You can see the screen. Okay, can you see the screen? All right, and then from here, black. Anyone can see the screen?
Black
Oh, wait,
screen.
okay, got it. That. Okay, so this is Mila. Okay, lagi. I think it's a Wi-Fi because every time my laptop restarted, it changed for 5. This one okay? Same. One more time. This one? No, still can't. I nampak
Sekarang dah okay.
Okay, alright. So the wallet can see, wallet can see. Okay, alright. And then from here, alright, you will do can see wallet okay. Kan, betul tak? Oh, no, okay, alright. So you have language, right? JavaScript, alright. You have Python, you have PHP, you have Java, and then you have .NET. .NET. Okay, so from here we do one row first, right? I think it's already 7:30 as well. We do one row first, and then yang lain we will do after break, right? I think more people Faiz will come after Maghrib, so tak adalah dia tertinggal sangat, alright. So this one we already done together. So for front end web framework, kita buat React.js, you have Vue.js, and you have Angular. So you have React.js, Vue.js, Angular, and database. All right, database. We have mongodb over here. Runtime environment. We've already have Node.js. Right. Web server. All right, is up. It's Express.js just now. Right, so ini dalam sini web server is Express.js. Mobile app, alright, on module 3 you're going to use reactnative. There's another one which is called Ionic as well. So it's either way, but I didn't cover Ionic. I cover reactnative. And then you have desktop app. We use Electron, but this also we are not covering, but this is for your information. So if you see an Electron.js, right, it's used to build web application. It's used to build desktop application and some app. Some app like Visual Your Code, WhatsApp, Sweat, even Slack. All this is built using Electron. Daniel also joined already. Okay, and then finally data science. All right, you can do it, right? But not well. Yeah, can do it, but not 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 mainstream now. So not mainstream. Right. So if you're using JavaScript, right? If you're doing JavaScript, you can almost do everything except for data science, lah, right? Data science, so mungkin most people will do it on Python. Okay, so that's for JavaScript. So so ni kita break kejap 25 minutes, I think 25 minutes because it's the first class. Not too long, not too long, right? So then we will do the rest, right? We will see back at 7:55 lah. 7:55. Okay, see you later. Okay, sambung. Okay, so from here kita pergi ke Python, right? From here we go to Python. Python from app web framework, right? Front app web framework. You might heard people talk about Django or Flask, right? Django or Flask. You might heard people talk about it, right? If you look for job offer ke apa, sometimes you might say LinkedIn.
Cikgu, sorry lambat cikgu.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay ya.
Macam ni kan reply ni. Django, right? Bukan. Django. You see lah, right? People talk about Django or something. We talk about full stack Python, right? When we talk about full stack Python, people will talk about Django or Flask. Right? Sama actually these two is quite the same. This one is quite the same. Some of the language dia lebih kurang sama. Some of the language dia lebih kurang sama. Later so we see for PHP. So database people will use MySQL, right? People will use MySQL or PostgreSQL, right? Just now I think you saw it when we did the stack share. You nampak dekat tadi. So this one is Linux, alright. This one is Linux. Mobile app cannot use Python. So mobile app you cannot use at all. Kalau tadi you buat apa? Can but not mainstream. But for Python, mobile app you cannot do it at all. Okay. And we have desktop app. Tkinter, I think, right? Tkinter, Python, desktop, PyCharm or Tkinter, PyCharm or sorry, not PyCharm, Tkinter, Tkinter. All right. Another one I can't remember what's the name. PyQt5, PyQt5. Tapi tak lawa lah. It's not as nice as it's like very old school, like this, right? Unlike ni lah, macam ni kan. This is like very old school calculator Windows. Unlike Electron, the one that you saw just now, which created Slack, for example, Visual Studio Code, Slack. So this is the main language for data science. Okay, we go for PHP. They have framework. Contohnya Laravel is one of the main framework, Laravel. Kita ada Code Igniter. Right? You might see all this. I put it here so that later you can relate. Let's say that you tengok apa, you look for job description ke something. You might see something that's related to whatever that we saw just now. Code Ignite, Laravel, for example. So Node.js. You're looking for Node.js, a little bit of Laravel and everything. So that's why at least you know. It's actually macam React.js and everything, but it's in PHP. Right? So this one is all the same as here. here you will use Linux. Most of the time people will use MySQL over here. Mobile app cannot, desktop app cannot, data science cannot. So it's more limited, all right, but because this is what we call server side language of framework. Okay, Java, right? Java. This one normally people who use Java will use Angular here. All right. Normally people who use Java will use Angular here. This one normally they use Oracle. Right. This one is use Oracle over here. This one they call it Tomcat. Right? Tomcat or JBoss. Right. This is what for Java web server. Java server. The web server they use what we call Spring, or Spring Boot. All right, mobile app normally they use Android native, desktop yes, JSF data science can. So this is Java. So Java yang ini, right, is normally being used in normally used in enterprise application, right? So if you do something TM, kalau if you want to go to TM you want to go to Astro, most of the enterprises, most of the offices, RTM, most of the application is built using Java, which is different than JavaScript. It's totally a different thing than JavaScript. Okay, so .NET is a C# language. This one I'm not really familiar, but I assume it's .NET everywhere. But this one is MS SQL. MS stands for Microsoft SQL, but other than that, .NET. This one is Xamarin. This one also I'm not sure. Right, this one I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm not really familiar with .NET. So these are all. This is how you can be a full stack. So you tengok lah. When you see, right, you see that language, the language that's cover almost the thing, right? The language that cover almost everything except this one, except for this one lah. Except for this one, ini tak ada. And then this one also almost have. So there are some of the language that cover almost everything. Right? So ini you can see. But this one normally it's not an open source. Alright, kalau tadi kan you see one of the advantages of MinStack is because it is free and open source. When it is open source, normally it's free. So tadi if you look here, all right, one of the advantage of MinStack is it's free and open source. So Java and .NET normally is not free and it's not open source, right? Which means that ada cost lah. but it's quite stable. It has been there since it's a while, so this is quite stable. Sebab tu you tengok bank, right? Some of the bank application also they use in Java. Okay, I think more people already in, so we can just go directly to Node.js, right? We can go directly to Node.js. So open source, all right? We're going to build, all right? We're going to build the Node.js application. Today we will do very simple. Today we will do very simple. I assume everyone downloaded Node.js, all right? I assume everyone downloaded Node.js. When do you downloaded Node.js? When we did Vue.js, at least when we did Vue.js, or when we did React.js. Vue.js or React.js, I assume that you already downloaded Node.js. Okay, so if you suddenly uninstall your other format PC or something, yeah, so this is the link to download Node.js. Okay, and then what we are going to do, right? What we are going to do, similar to our previous exercise, previous project, you're going to create a new folder inside your current folder. I think I dah buang lah you punya folder hari tu, my PC berat, so I think I already buang. So you're going to create a new folder inside your batch 24 or batch 25 folder, and that one is called module 2. Right, you're going to create, I dah buang dah you all ni. Alright, so you're going to create a new folder. That folder is called batch module 2. Alright, it's called module 2. Inside module 2, you're going to start with a week 1 folder. Okay, so inside week 1 folder, macam biasa, alright, you're going to well, if you remember, you're going to create a new file, but that file this time around it's called index.js. Alright, so create a new file, index.js, inside your week 1 folder. So inside your week 1 folder, create a file which is called index.js. Inside index.js, right? Inside index.js, you will add the code from slide number 22. Slide number 23. It's good. You can use my drive as a reference as well. So it's either way. Either you use either you do this one or you use the PDF, sama saja. Right, but I think just now I was adding more stuff. Can I refresh? I already refresh. I already give permission. Okay, so you have var http equals to require http. Then you have http dot create server function rest, right? And then you have rest dot, boleh copy somebody try to copy it. Rest dot write head 200.
Boleh copy.
Boleh copy tak apalah. Boleh copy boleh copy. Tak best lah copy. Then text plain. Alright, then you have rest.end hello node. And then you have listen to port 8080. And then console.log server started on port on localhost 8080. Press ctrl plus C to terminate. Okay, once done, right, you're going to open terminal inside this folder. All right, you're going to open terminal inside this folder. So I'm not sure if you remember or not how I teach you on module 1, right? How I teach you on module 1. What I ask you to do is I ask you to open here, all right, go to week 1 folder and type CMD on top. Right, try to remember. Okay, you open to the folder. And then inside the address bar, you type CMD, right? Or you can do CD, drag it, right? CD drag pun jadi. Once you do that, you will do node server.js. Sorry, so node index.js. Okay, let me know if you've done it. Let me know if you got it. Node index.js. You should get something like this. Server started on localhost 8080. Press Ctrl C to terminate. Okay, Pak is done. Pak is on form today.
Copy je cikgu.
Copy je ke?
Dapat saya.
Dapat Okay. Okay, apa maksudnya? Alright, maksudnya, what does it mean? Alright, it means that you're going to create a server. Alright, I'm going to create a server. That server will listen to port 8080. I'm going to create a server. That server will listen to port 8080. And then I'm going to type this. Server started on localhost 8080. Press Ctrl C to terminate. So that's why you have this. And when somebody requests, when somebody connect to my server, return hello note. All right, this is what it means. This part, the function regress here means once somebody connect, if somebody is connected to my server, you will reply back hello note. Okay. How to get this? Okay, you open a browser. All right, you open a browser. And then inside you open a new tab. Dekat dalam new tab you will do localhost 8080. Okay. Then you will see the word hello note. I think you're quite familiar with all this port and everything, because we did it with Vue.js. Maybe we don't really go in detail, but we did it with Vue.js. Okay, Travis. I need to get a drink. Come back. Alright, ya, boleh ya. Do you know what a port is? Apakah itu port? What is a port?
Filter port.
Huh? 8080 ni, what does it mean? I'm not sure, alright. Okay, so tak apalah, because I can't remember if I tell you or not. So this is how it works, right? This is how it works. So before we start with what is an internet first. This one, if you remember on my first week of module 1, Faiz je lah yang can be can be excused, but the rest should know, right? If you remember the first week of module 1, I give you a slide, introduction to HTML. I might not go through with you, but I might ask, okay dah baca bila baca. So what is an internet? Dalam tu ada, what is an internet? So the definition is interconnection of network. That's what internet is. Interconnection of network. Alright, it means that all the PC in the world, alright, all the PC in the world, right, can be connected to each other. Right. Once I say that, oh, come, connect to my PC. And when I say, alright, I'm going to open my PC to everyone in the world, then you're part of the internet. Right. Now also I open my PC so that I can video chat with you. I can go get information and everything. So I'm connected in a way. To you guys, right? Through Teams. Then you have a server. What is a server? Jawapan satu perkataan sahaja.
Computer.
A computer, right? So a server is actually a computer, right? The computer, right? That is used to host something, right? To host data or information. Then the next division is web server. What is a web server? Is a computer, right? That is used to host a website. You heard about Linux lah, Apache and Linux. Sorry, you heard about Apache, you heard about NGX just now, about Node.js. So it's a computer that is used to host a website, right? And it can be anyone. I also can be a web server, right? As long as I have a computer, I can be a web server. And then from there, maybe you know there is this thing which is called an IP address. IP address is how we are connected to each other. Each of us will have an IP address, right? Each of us will have an IP address. This one is if you go to this website, what is my IP address? What is my IP address? Then you will know your IP address is, for example, 180.73.54.169. So this is my IP address, right? In reality, whose IP address is this? Do you think? Kalau siapa tahu tak? Anyone knows tak? Anyone can guess, or maybe I already told you. Whose IP address is this?
TM?
Bukan. Yalah TM, but which part of TM?
No idea.
It's your router IP address. Yalah. Kalau dalam rumah ni, in my house ada 10 orang, 10 orang buat what is my IP address, everyone will have the same IP address. Right? So technically is the router IP address. Right? So it's okay. In order for you to connect to me, right, you have to use this IP address. Right? But inside my house there are 5-10 of us. Right? So we don't know. We don't know who is who. Then that's the router job. Okay, so that's the router job. Within our house, within ourselves, this is what we call your public IP address. So it's an address that each of the device has to have to be connected to each other. Ini hari ni ada kelas pagi tak? I'm not sure some of you know. Some of you know already. Kadang-kadang I have kelas pagi. Kalau kelas pagi tu macam malam tu macam letih. Jadi this is my second day. Semalam cuti kan. Second day kelas pagi. So yang malam ni biasa jadi mangsa lah. Right?
Kelas pagi sama ke?
Kelas pagi is ni special class. So macam people request to me, can you teach me sekian. Tapi it's not ni, it's under my company. Macam this one is Koresh, but normally I do macam ni lah, institution semua.
Macam Laravel lah.
Bergantung. Hari ni belajar Ionic. Hari ni belajar Ionic. Hari tu yang hari ni belajar Ionic. So kadang-kadang dia request lah, okay ni. Then I have to entertain lah.
Kau PHP pun cikgu ajar lah.
PHP ajar. Tapi saya tak ajar yang ni. Last time I ajar budak sekolah. Kalau PHP yang macam tu I ajar budak sekolah. So budak sekolah punya the school SPM punya syllabus.
Kan. Mana tahu masa depan.
Apa? Masa depan apa?
Masa depan mana tahu nak join.
Mana tahu kan. Boleh. I'm not promoting lah. Bukan promote lah, I'm just saying that tired lah penat hari ni. Oh, sama you guys are here. Nanti doa-doa dapat, pray that I get it. Pray that I get it. Or unless if any of you know, ada tak sesiapa kenal immigration? So somewhere over here, I was supposed to go to Istanbul tau, 15 sampai 30. Ada pertandingan. 15 sampai 30 I have competition there. 15 ke 30.
Buat app ke?
No, kita app ni dah siap. Kita present je app tu.
Oh, present.
Present je lah. App tu dah siap dah. The business kita lah, our business kan, we go there.
Oh, anakku.
Betul. The only Malaysian tau. The only Malaysian. I pun tak tahu berapa banyak company Malaysia yang hantar, but the only Malaysian. But at the moment still problem dengan travel pass kan. Still problem dengan travel pass. So
Hadiah berapa cikgu?
hadiah dia $20,000 tapi kita tak target menang pun. So
Banyak
pergi sana sebab nak jalan-jalan satu. But actually it's more networking. Dia lebih kepada networking lah. So bila kita orang pergi macam ni kan, we know already we will not win. Tapi it is more on networking, dapat contact semua. It's more on networking activity. Tapi menang tak memang takkan menang pun. So that's what aku cakap. Kalau
dengar macam tu.
Boleh lah, right? But I think that why we not win lah. So I dah pernah dah last year. 2019 we go there, semangat but tak apa-apa kan. But then you see to just get connection, boleh jalan-jalan already. So bukan nak ni I bukan nak show off, alright. So sampai orang nanti I might be doing class but not from Malaysia. Tapi tak apa, macam dekat Turkey lah. Sana punya kita 5 jam kan. So if our class is now, so it's 3:30 there lah, 3:30 there. This date is the event date, so I'm pretty sure that mesti kacau, alright. Dia mesti kacau. Kalau immigration lepaskan. So I think somewhere over here dia kacau. 21, 22, 23 kan? Tadi 21, 22, 23, 20, 21, 22. 20, 21, 22. So somewhere over here kacau. But somewhere over here also I just tell you sebab I takut internet lah benda, but I will try to get the best internet there. Okay, so that's selingan. Kalau jadilah kalau tak jadi, kalau tak you will see me here lah.
Ni kalau office buka ke?
Apa?
Office syarikat cikgu. Tutup lah time tu.
Tutup. Kenapa you nak kena internet ya?
Sajalah, mana tahu kan, saja-saja ke.
Oh, itulah semalam saya teringat kamu. Saya balik kampung semalam, balik Bangi semalam.
Bangi, kampung Bangi ke?
Sekarang ni semalam saya balik weekend lepas balik weekend. My mum sakit sikit. So balik kerap sekarang nak berbanding dulu. Sekarang
tak boleh jumpa cikgu.
Apa cakap apa yang kesan I let you know. Tapi office tak buka lagi, but I think dah nak kena buka dah tu. Sebab lama sangat kan.
Rent lah. Rent lah.
Itulah rent semua bayar.
Okay, so kacau pula kelas.
Tak apa, lama tak jumpa kan. 2 minggu. Sebulan tak berjumpa. Okay. Kenapa kat sini IP address? Okay. Kenapa kita cakap tu? Oh, okay. So, that's IP address. All the router, alright. All the router has an IP address. But just now I have my IP. I have sebab I tertampak map kot tu teringat. So, this IP has in this house devices So PC, TV, phone semua tu dia kira 10 lah. Kalau cakap 10 tu ada 10 devices. And then everyone will see this if they do what is my IP address. And there is this thing which is called private IP address. So you have private IP address. Private IP address is the IP address of your PC within the network. IP address of your PC within the IC banyak juga kata lah. Aku lupa 82, sorry. Tak perasan. You guys check dekat ni tau. Check dekat slide tau. Hari tiba semua check. Lupa kot. Check dekat Slack because Slack ada noti kan. Slack ada noti. Dan I pun tak payah tukar-tukar. I nampak. Ni. Okay, since Raj asked, that's how you know if the thing is popular or not, right? That's how you know the thing is popular or not. You buat apa tau? You buat macam Angular. Okay, I baru buat ni semalam dengan cekah pagi. 386, right? 386. Then you do React. Alright, you do React. Then you have 652, right? And then you do Vue. Alright, so you mention it here, alright, and then tadi I biasa ajar kan, and then you do Flutter. Normally the number of page represents how popular is it. And then you do lepas Flutter, you do apa Ionic ni kan. So the number of page normally represent the need lah. Tapi cuma itulah, some of it, for example React, although it's a lot, but I'm pretty sure that most of it is senior. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that most of it is senior. So nampak looks like a lot, but maybe after ni Stripe confirm this is for Stripe, is it? No. But sometimes it might most of it is for senior. React is quite difficult lah compared to others.
Cikgu, kalau framework mana yang senang untuk junior dapat kerja?
I would say Vue.js. I rasa Vue.js. Tapi Vue.js tak banyak. So because now your question is, do you want to focus on Vue.js or do you want to focus on Flutter, for example? Itu yang soalan. Alright. So it's very hard untuk buat dua-dua. Dia agak susah for a junior developer. So dia this either one lah.
Kalau Flutter kalau dapat basic kompetisi itu ada chance tak?
Kalau dapat ada chance. For Flutter, yang benda-benda tu you buat tu dah okay. Alright, I think just put that on GitHub and everything. And last time somebody told me one of the interview questions is about state management. So you just need to have a look at state management. Fahamkan buat sikit. I tak cover dengan you all. I did not manage to cover it with you all. Just do one or two example. One of the grad from here dia cakap this was one of the questions that they get.
Kan.
Okay. So then, alright, menjawab soalan Raj. IP address terbahagi kepada dua. The one is the router. Another one is what we call your local IP address. So your local IP address, you can do IP config or IF config on your CMD, right? You can open a new tab. You do IP config. If I'm not mistaken, PC IP config. For Mac is IF config, right? And then you will see this number that start with 192. If you can see a number that start with 192, that's your IP address. 192 EN1. EN panjang kan ni, susah baca. Okay. IP address YouTube Airbridge EN1, EN2, EN01. 192.168.0.115. So this is my IP address within my network. Alright. Maksudnya apa? If macam tadi, I have this website. Alright. If I have this website, I open this in the same Wi-Fi on my phone. Then I connect to 192.168.0.115 port 8080. Then I will see this website, right? So that's what's an IP address. That's what a private IP address is. All right. So it's the IP address that is known within the network. Dia biasanya bermula dengan 192. It starts normally with 192. I upload you the picture of this website from your phone. You can try this nanti bila if you want. You can try this. Figure out what's your IP address, alright, and then try to open this server from your IP address. Okay. And then from there, all right, from there, how do my phone know that I have to open the web server? All right, I 192.168.0.115 is my PC address. But dia tahu tau kena buka Node.js. It knows that I have to open Node.js. So is the port. The port links is a number that links an application, all right, so that it can be connected from outside, lah, right? Macam ni kan, 192.168.168.0.115 is my PC. Dekat hujung tu sebenarnya ada tau, tadi I buat double dot 8080. It means that open the website from this server. Siapa main ni? Siapa main who used to play CS last time? Counter Strike. Last time Ashraf ni kan, Ashraf wakil Malaysia. CS, alright. Sama juga kan last time, if you remember kan, Counter Strike, right? Come kan, buka, I will open my server. Who's go? Because among ourselves, right, one of us need to be a server kan. If I remember, like, one of us, if we play inside the same room or something, one of ourselves need to be a server, which means that I open my port. Right, CS will have their own port. So dia akan bilang, right, 192.168.0.115. But the port is different, right? The port might be biasanya besar-besar lah, right? The port might be this. Alright, so everyone connect with this address by having this port. Then the application knows already. Oh, this port is actually for CS. Jangan keluar, jangan ambil website, right? Don't take the website. Go to Counter Strike instead of go to a website. Alright, so the port number, the last digit here, right, actually refers to the application that I need to open. Right, I thought about kan, Vue.js also I think is 8080. Vue.js is also 8080. React, some of it. Ionic is forever is 8100. Okay, so that's what a port is. All right, so wait at port 8080. All right, if somebody tried to connect to me, return this to them. This is what the code means. Okay, so this one we've done how to run a Node program, open terminal or CMD, open the folder where the project is, type Node file name to continue. All right, then you will have this. Okay, now what we are going to do now, we are going to install NodeMon. Okay, if you remember, right, you can actually open a new tab. All right, so you keep this right. You do Control C to close, and then you do npm install -g NodeMon. Not index.js. npm install -g NodeMon. Need to Control C. Control C means close. Close the server, right? Control C means close the server. And you do NodeMon, npm install -g NodeMon. So once you're done, all right, you will do this time around NodeMon index.js, right? This time around, instead of using not index.js, you will type NodeMon index.js. So nothing changed, all right? Nothing changed. You open the browser tadi kan, localhost 8080, things nothing changed. But this time around, just now I forgot to ask you to try. But normally this time around, every time you change the code, hello world, I change the code, I press save, not more, the server will be restarted, and then I press refresh, then it's okay, right? Later, you try to see the difference between nodemon, index.js. So this one I have the difference between nodemon, index.js and not index.js is that the server will automatically restarted every time there is a change in your code. All right, for nodemon index.js. But for Node.js, for Node index.js, you need to do Control-C, then Node index.js every time. Sorry. Alright, so that's the tak apalah, I tunjuk. You tak payah buat lah. You see the thing. I will do Node index.js. I do hello world there, and then I do hello world. I change the code hello Malaysia. Alright, save it. I refresh. Still cannot change. Alright, still nothing happened. Then I do back node index.js. Alright, then only change. Alright, so that's the difference. So after this, with your Node.js code, you will do nodemon. You will do nodemon index.js instead of node index.js. Okay. Okay, got it. Suddenly you guys very quiet. Biasanya bising sebab ada, bukan bising. Biasanya sebab ada, last time you have talkative girl, right? Talkative girl. Dah tak ada dah, Ash and Syamil. Syamil is supposed to be there, but I think he's absent lagi.
Yang dekat yang rest.n tu kan macam output apa yang tunjuk dekat browser kan. Kalau yang rest right hit tu apa benda?
Rest.writeHead is actually the okay, when you create a request kan, when you actually, even if you call any website, all of you are familiar with Postman kan, we have gone through this together kan. Whenever you open a website, an API, or anything like, or normally, right, you will have what we call the header and the response or the body, right? The header or the response and the body. So let's say, for example, then I put here localhost 8080. Okay, I dapat lah, right? This is only what you see, right? This is only what you see. Sebenarnya, in reality, the browser Chrome, it will get more information. For example, 200 mean all is well, all is okay, right? All is well, all is okay. Some of you might notice some of the website kan, they have like error 404 kan. Have you heard about it? Perasan tak? Some of it, if you go to website, then you have error 404 or something. You have something like this. So this is another number. 404 means your URL is wrong. 200 means everything is okay. 404 means URL is wrong. Or maybe some of you heard of 500. Dan apa you go keluar benda ni This thing means the server is wrong, alright, and then it will return error 500. So the yang nombor tu, right, the number there, it's not the one that you see, right, is for Chrome to understand. Okay, 200 means okay. Keluarkan page okay. 400 means, 404 means, well, the URL is wrong, right, which is not found. It's for Chrome. Whatever that you need is normally over here. It's for Chrome or for application lah. For Chrome. Nanti you akan belajar lah all this number. You will be exposed to all these numbers. Well. And then tak boleh suka-suka lah, right? If you put, oh, I'm successful, but I want to put 301, cannot. Because for okay, alright, yeah, for successful, it's already reserved with 200.
Yang key content type tu kita tak boleh ubah juga ke macam mana?
Content type boleh, but if you normally is either text plain or JSON or HTML. Kalau this one normally is that. So if you return a website, this will be HTML. If you return an API, this will be JSON. Dia dah ada a selection of things that you can put. Tak suka lah letak apa. There is a select. If you remember Postman, right? Dia benda-benda ni. Benda-benda ni. Benda ni. It's coming from here. Okay, so that's ni. But importantly, right? What you did the notmon, but at the same time, I want you to remind you what this means. Do you remember? Before this, where did you use this? Before today, bila you guna benda tu? Before today, when did you use this command line?
Untuk install apa software.
Correct. When you install apa-apa software, right? For ni apa?
Ataupun packages lah.
Correct. Walid dengan Faiz, I think they ni lah, right? They installed 2 or 3 things already. But for you guys, for example, if you remember, when we did Vue.js, alright, is npm install -g alias vue/cli, right, if you remember. That's what it means. Install notmon -g here mean in my computer, right? Install notmon in my computer. -g means in my computer. Later also you will see sometimes it can be npm install something, all right? Npm install without the -g. Without the -g, it means install the package inside the folder. There's an example here, right? Install the package only inside my folder. Itu beza. The -g means general. My entire computer without -g means only inside. Ini biasa I nak suruh buat latihan, but I don't think you need to do it, right? We go directly to synchronous versus asynchronous programming. Lama lah cuti, that's why I'm also worried. 1 month kan? 1 month cuti. Buka-buka, balik-balik, terus kena jumpa benda ni. Okay, so let's try to do this with code, right? Let's try to do this with code first. Okay, you're going to create another file inside the same folder. That file is called asynchronous. async1.js, for example, async1.js. And then you're going to use this code, right? So the code is console.log hello and then set timeout function. Right, and then you will do console.log goodbye. And then lepas the curly bracket you put 2000, lepas the curly bracket you put 2000 and you put console.log. Alright, hello again. So once you do it, try to run this file and see what it does. I tak nak bagi tahu macam mana nak run. Try to run this file and see what it does.
Hello again. Lepas tu goodbye.
Okay, betul. Alright, so how to run it? So notmon or not, the file name is async.js. So Control C to stop. Alright, then you do not on notmon. Async1.js. So you will see hello again, goodbye. Tapi dia goodbye tu dia lambat sedikit. Alright, I think it's around 2 seconds. Alright, so hello again, goodbye. How to run it? You will do notmon async1.js. Okay tak ni? Base 24 kita peranjat kot. Kita tengok what is it? Base 24 kita peranjat je. Okay, what does it mean? How to read this code? Alright, how to read this code? I just want to teach you how to read the code. So in this particular code, okay, dia baca ni dulu. It read this hello, and then it read this set timeout 2000. What this function do means wait for 2 seconds, do whatever inside it. That's what it means. Wait for 2 seconds, do whatever is inside it. So this is read, show the word hello, show the word hello. Right. And then wait for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, show goodbye. And then another one is show, all right, hello again. Okay, so this part of code, okay, this part of code, you will have a function inside a function, right? If you remember, this is a function, this is also a function. So you will have sometime what we call a function inside a function. Function inside a function, parameter, right? So what does it mean? Normally this is what we call asynchronous, right? This is what we call asynchronous. It's something like this, all right? You show console.log, wait for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, show goodbye. This one, it will, while waiting for 2 seconds, you continue first. While waiting for continue first. So that's what it means. While waiting, continue first. That's why there is a function inside the parameter. So that's what I'm trying to represent in this image. All right. Normally, again, though I think what we did previously is more you baca dari atas ke bawah, right? You read from top to the bottom, A, B, and then A. But in this case, you do one thing, right? While waiting for the answer, you do the other thing first. So once this is completed, then you get the result. Right? So this is the example of asynchronous programming. This is an example of synchronous programming. So when normally you use this, you will normally use asynchronous programming with tasks that's related, with tasks that need time. I need time. I need 1 second to do it. All right. So you need. You will normally use asynchronous programming with time consuming tasks. All right. So one of the time-consuming tasks is, for example, retrieve data from database. So if you're talking about data from database, banyak data, you have like 100,000 data or something. So for example, retrieve data from database is one of the things that's considered as time-consuming. Right. So yeah, this is why you need to do it, right? This is why you need to do it now. This is why I have you to introduce you to this, because later you will see why got function in parameter one, right? Why this function have normally when we do function we always do like this, right? Console.log and everything, but you have this, and then sometimes you ada ni pula, you have functions like somewhere over here. Why suddenly have like this? So that's the reason, right? Because it means that whenever you have a function inside a parameter, it means that, okay, do first, but sementara menunggu, right, while waiting for it, do the rest first. So do this. This will take a while, but while waiting for it, you will do the rest. Any questions so far? Especially from Raj, Kesavan, who's been very quiet. Joran, biasanya diorang ni, you know, last time you have Ash as a coordinator, now they don't have Ash already.
Nak tanya sir, the one you actually put the 2000, you represent the second with 2000 kan?
Milliseconds.
Milliseconds. Okay,
Milliseconds.
so 1 second is considered like 1000 milliseconds, right?
Correct, betul.
Okay.
That's why gitu tadi saya, kejap lah. That's why if we run back kan, we run back, dia kata alright, was 1, 2, okay.
Kalau 1 hour itu consider kita kena letak, can we represent like seconds or
it's still seconds. So you can put lah 60 times 60.
still millisecond, huh?
Milliseconds. 60 times 60 times milliseconds. So but normally rarely lah people use normally rarely use it for wait for 1 hour. No.
Okay, so which is we can still like we have to do the times thing lah.
Betul. Kalau nak you just times je.
Okay sir, thank you sir. Just want to understand that.
Okay, boleh. Okay, so normally everything that's related to data, alright, everything that's related to data is time consuming, alright. So this is what we're going to do for the rest of the night. So kita ada sejam lebih, one more hours. We're going to study this. So one of the thing, alright. So I'm at page 38 now. Alright, I'm at page 38 now. I will do here async 2, right? Sorry, this is sync, async. This is sync 1. Sync 2 lah. I want it to be ini. Sync2.js, right? Synchronous2.js. What it does is it will have var fs equals to require fs, right? So var fs equals to require fs. So you have var data equals to fs dot read file sync. You have input.txt, and then you do console.log data.toString, and then I will go over here console.log program ended. Okay, try to write it, but something is wrong. Let's see if Faiz or Ni can help us, or somebody for Faiz or Walid know what's wrong, or somebody else also can guess what's wrong. Kenapa tak jalan?
Boleh jawab ke?
Boleh jawab.
Tak ada input file.
Input file, right? So you need, actually what does it mean? Alright, what does it mean? Open input.txt and then show what is inside input.txt. So you create one more file, or you create one more file inside the same folder. That file is called input.txt. Dekat sini you just put hello world, welcome to module 2. Okay, so dia kalau you buat kan, dia buat, alright, kita boleh tutup notmon sing to.js. How does it work? Dia buatlah, right, hello world, welcome to module 2, program end, right? Dia tunggu and then it will show program ended. Right? So that's what synchronous means. Synchronous means tunggu, wait for it, show it, and then only go to the next slide. Okay, I will do the next code. All right, same behavior, but there is no word sing. All right, so this code. So var fs. So this one I call it asynchronous2.js. Asynchronous2.js. I will do here var ff equals to require fs dot read file, all right, fs dot read file input dot txt, all right, function air data if return console.log error. If not, I will do console.log data to string, and then I will do console.log program and slightly long, all right, but this is the synchronous way. This is the asynchronous way. Now you see the results. What happened? Okay, if you run, what happened? came out, program ended, then only hello world program welcome to my module. Right. So this come out first, then only this come out. So this is same principle. All right. So read the file, but while waiting for it to load, do this first. Right. So read the file while waiting for it to load. Do this first. After this is done, then only you not after this is done. All right. When this thing happen, when this thing come out, you show it. All right, so do this first while waiting for it to load. Do this. Whenever this is finished, you can show the data. All right, so if I run it async2, right, so you do program ended, then hello world, welcome to my program. Okay, so that's asynchronous versus synchronous. All right. The time to open this might be like 0.02 seconds, but still 0.0001 seconds, but still it will go down first, then only it will go, yeah, like very minuscule only, right? The time to do it like very kecil, very minuscule, but it will still computer processing power. I'm talking about computer processing power. It will read this one first, then it will not wait. It will not wait. The difference is with the word synchronous. This one have sync. This one don't have sync. Okay, next one. I think I will do. I think I will do. FS is actually file system. FS is file system. From the file system library, read the file. Okay, I'm going to give you a big exercise now. All right. So tadi if you remember, I put 50-50. 50-50 means the last time I think it was 70-30. If you remember, that's what I mean. Module 1 is more 70-30. 70-30 means 70 hari. Normally the first day and we do together, right? And then 30%, then I lepak, I ask you to do while I'm drinking, while I'm watching series, no, right? So, but now it's more 50-50, right? Which means that I'm going to give you an exercise now. I want to see if you figure out what it is, right? I'm going to create a file using, I'm going to create something using synchronous method, right? So it's sync exe1.js. So what I'm going to do, console.log begin reading file. All right, this one we have seen together. It's var fs equals to require fs. Then I will do var data, ikut je lah ni ya. Var data equals to fs dot read file sync data dot input dot txt. Then I will do console.log data.toString. Then I will do console.log finish reading file. Okay. Then I will do console.log begin appending file. Then I will do fs.append files, append file. Sing, I will put input.txt, I will put here appended something. Alright. Then I will do console.log finish appending file. Nampak macam well, you see like a lot, but it's actually just almost the same thing except for this method change. Right? Then I will do console.log begin rereading file. Then what we do for var new data equals to fs read file sync input.txt. Then I will do console.log data.toString, and finally I will do console.log finish rereading file. Okay, I will try to run this. This is sync exe1.js. Kita tengok ya. So begin reading file. Okay. Hello world, welcome to module 2. Alright. Finish rereading. Sorry, this one is something. Finish reading file. Right. Then I will do begin appending file. Right. Finish, it will append something. Finish appending file. Begin rereading file. Alright. Sini I see lah. This one is var new data. Right. Var new data.toString, and then finish reading file. So what will happen? You see, begin reading file. Hello world. Appended something. Finish reading file. Begin appending file. Append here means add at the end of the file. Right? Add appended something at the end of the file. Alright, and then finish appending file, console.log begin reading file, var new data, fs read file sync, console.log new data to string, console.log finish reading file. Alright, so this one, kita berhenti kejap, 10 minutes, alright, try to see if you can get the same result. But this is not the exercise. The exercise is a little bit challenging, but I want to see if you can try to do it. Right? If you can try to do it. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
kiranya setiap kali file tu kalau kita refresh je tambah lagi satu lah ayat.
Betul, because it's kan appended. But so if not, the file bertambah lah. The file will be added something. But if you want to clear it from time to time, you go there, you clear it. That's what appended mean, right? You masukkan, add it at the end. Kan? Something lagi, right? Add it at the end. Right? Tambah lagi di hujung. Add it at the end of the file. From time to time boleh ni lah. From time to time boleh delete. If you think it's too much. Okay. Do you see the pattern? So you see the pattern, right? For example, this one, read file sync. All right, if it's asynchronous, it read file. Okay, and then this one, append file sync. What will you think if it's asynchronous? What will it be? agak-agak no lah. By the pattern, what will it be?
Tambah async. Dekat append file.
Dia append file je lah, right? No async kan. Read file sync. Over here dia read file, right? Some over here append file sync. If it's asynchronous, it's going to be append file. So that's right. And then if you remember lagi, right? If you remember when you do module 1, kecuali Faiz lah, right? We always go to documentation, right? We always go to the preschools. What I want you to do is, I want you to have a look, all right? Have a look at this documentation, FS Node.js. Okay, so have a look at this documentation, try to see if you understand how to read it, understand how to cipher it. You create another file which is called async exe1.js. So create a new file which is called asynchronous exe1.js. Right. Inside this file, I want you to bring out things exactly like this. Buat sebiji macam tu, just like that. Just do it bring it out exactly like this. However, you cannot have the word sync in your file, right? Which means everything need to be asynchronous, right? But the outcome, I want it to be exactly the same. Okay, so use this documentation as a reference. How to use read file. Jadi katanya how to use read file. This is how you can use read file. This is the example, right? So it's written there. How to use append file. Just now, right? How to use append file. So this is how you use append file. Yeah, append file. This is one. Yeah, this is how you use append file. Right, this is how you use append file, right? And then this is the example, for example, right? Try to see, but at the end, the outcome need to be the same. At the end, the outcome need to be the same. Ni lama cuti ni, clear or not? Is the instruction clear or not?
Can you repeat?
Okay, you're going to do exactly the same thing as this. Right, I want the arrangement, everything to be exactly the same, but inside the code you need to use the asynchronous method. When it's an asynchronous method, there is like this exercise, right? It's like a read file, append file. So that's the method name. That's the method name. Okay. I nak you buat pakai read file and pakai append file. If you need example, that's why I give you a link. Inside the link, there is this example how to use append file. Somewhere over here pun ada, somewhere over here, right? This is how you use it. And then see, the important part is the susunan. The arrangement of the outcome need to be exactly the same.
Okay.
Baik,
Yes,
baik. Faham clear? The others clear? Alright, try to see if you can try and do it right inside this asynchronous exercise 1. You have this as a reference, you have this as a reference. Read file dah ada kat sini, right? Read file you can look for the example here, right? So you use this and this as a reference. The one that you still need to fikir, the one that you need to think a little bit is on the append file part. Okay, how to start? Start with the first thing first. Begin reading file. Okay, that one you know, because this is something that we have done, right? We have something that we have done. So somewhere over here we did it dulu. Alright, so asynchronous exercise. So var fs equals to require fs console.log begin reading file. Okay, and then read file. All right, read file. We should say lower lah. All right, so fs dot read file input dot txt, and then as per previous example, it will go inside like this. All right, so function and data. All right, so if equal, yeah, just follow it. If return console.log error. If not, I will do console.log data.toString. Right, this is the first part, right? The first two line, right? Now the challenge now is to bring out the next line, which is finish reading file. So I give you an idea how to start. Now try to bring out finish reading file after the data. Okay, anyone has any idea which line I should write? My ending reading file, ending reading file, finish reading file. Line berapa? Which line?
Macam mana cikgu?
Dekat mana nak tulis? Finish reading file. Sebab because I want to do exactly the same thing as this. Begin reading file, hello world, finish reading file. Line berapa finish reading file tu? Line 7. So line 7, I press enter now ke I press enter here? So to be precise, press enter. Okay, now, okay, line 7 or line 9? So line 7 or line 9? Kalau macam ni.
So line 9 kot.
Press enter end of line 6. Correct. So jadi 1/2. So orang kata line 9, seorang kata line 7. So ingat, you have to remember, right? If you do like this, dia kena sementara menunggu, right? While waiting do this. Nanti you akan dapat.
Betul. Dia akan buat finish dulu pula.
Correct. Begin reading file, finish reading file, then only you get input. But if you put as what Raj suggests, right? You put here, then dia akan bagi. Then you will get as per what is on the ni lah, on the synchronous part. Okay, now appending file. Line berapa? Which line I should add the append file? Not the append file with sync, append file without sync. Which line?
Line 3.
Line?
3.
Line 3, append file.
Before nanti after begin reading.
After?
Before read file dulu lah.
You kena ingat read file. Okay, tengok balik. Begin appending file dulu. Sorry, begin appending file. Begin appending file, console.log begin appending file. Where should I put this code? Begin appending file. We already have finish reading file. We already have here finish reading file. Now we want to have begin appending file. Which line is it?
Before
to string.
Before line 8.
Before line 8. Line 9. Macam-macam ada jawapan. Line 9. Before line 8. Lepas finish reading file lah, rest. So hari ni rush on form hari ni so console, alright, .log, alright. Begin, alright, begin appending file. Alright, that's how you do it, alright. Okay, tengok, okay, lepas ni apa? Alright, lepas ni apa? And then you have begin reading file, hello world, finish reading file, begin appending file. Now we think of the append file. Append file happen when?
Line 10.
Line 10, betul.
Tak pasti.
Tak confident. Ya lah, betul lah. fs.append file. Alright, so input.txt. The second one will be the text to append, appending item. Then the third parameter will be function add. Finish appending file. Line berapa?
$13 kot.
13.
13.
13. Tengok console.log finish appending file.
Tak pasti.
Tengok you get. Begin reading file. Hello world. Tak apa, we will not say it. But okay, let's say that you put there. Kalau tak jadi nanti kita kena patah balik. Now I'm going to do begin rereading file.
begin reading file tu kalau error rasa.
Tak. Dia tak ada error. Dia memang automatically akan keluar. Begin reading file. Line berapa?
16 lah after dah habis read file. Habis yang function file tu lah.
Yeah, 16. Begin reading file. Okay. Dia macam ni. Okay, kita tengok what happen kalau you buat macam tu. Begin reading file. Salah. Alright.
Okay.
Then press suggest line 14. What will happen? Begin reading file. Hello world. Finish reading file. Begin appending file. Finish appending file. Begin reading file. Betul ke? But I how come it works? Begin appending file. Betul lah. Finish appending file. Tengok. Dia buat. Sorry. Finish appending file. Begin reading file. Well, for some nasib baik jalan. But actually no. This one should be here. Alright, this one should be here. Masalah pun. Right, masalah pun. It should be inside. Dia macam ni lah. Right? Bila dia masuk dalam, it should go in. Dia jadi tadi it works because append file you don't see the result. That's why it works. If it been something else, it will not work just now. And the same thing as over here, fs.read file, the name of the file, input.txt, right? And then you have function error data, and then console sama juga ada atas if error return console.log error, alright, and then you will do if not console.log data.toString, and finally finish rereading file console.log finish rereading file.
Oh, kiranya je dalam lagi lah.
Dia pasti dalam. Alright. What happened to my ni ya? Item appending. Okay. My input.txt macam ada dua. Input.txt. Oh, I letak text patutlah. Input.txt ya. Input.txt. So that's how you read it, alright. If you want it to happen after the asynchronous action, you masuk dalam, you have to go in, right? If you want it to happen after it, you have to go in. That's how it is.
Kiranya kalau nak buat asynchronous operation ikut turutan ni lah cara dia.
Inilah cara dia. This is one of the way you do it lah. Normally this is how you do it lah. Because this one we take an example from a data from a file, right? Very simple. Some of it you will get from the database, alright. You need to get this database first, then only you get the data from this database. Contohnya, alright, give me the user information. After get the user information, get me all the cars that the user books. After get all the cars that the user books, then get more information on the car, everything, right? So that's if it's like that. So number one is get the user information. Number two is it has to be inside. That's one way of doing it.
Ya, cikgu.
Okay, boleh. Data to string means shows the data in string format. Kan you know the data type kan? Show the data in string format. But good there, because actually right, in module 2 kan, macam module 1 kan, you have to understand by line tau. Or that's module 1. Module 1 you have to understand line by line. When you do module 2, module 3, you don't need to understand line by line already. Kenapa? Because in module 2 and module 3 you can copy paste. I mean, how it works is you just baca documentation, just read the documentation. Oh, this is how to append, for example kan. Try and then adjust. That's some of the things that you need to get in module 2 and module 3. You don't need to understand line by line, but you see that, oh, actually this part of code, right? You just do this part of code means bring out the data, right? So bring this part of code. Tak perlu know apa line by line. I think just now you ask about ni, nak tahu this part, right? You just need to know this part. Oh, this one, right? This part of code means open the file. Okay, this part of code. So you need to, the way you understand it, it have to make it right, more no need to do line by line or word by word, just take it as based on the example, the first one is the file, the second one is the words. Tengok je. So based on. Okay, do we have time for one more? I think we have time for one more topic. Just now tadi pun kita macam start lambat sikit, and I saja macam melambatkan masa so that can have more students in class. I have time for one more. I think we will do the last one, which is what we call how to avoid callback hell. This is what we call callback. All this, whenever you see a function, right? Whenever you see a function, this is what we call a callback. Right? A callback is the function that is declared in the parameters. And then sometimes, right, some of it you see kan, dia buat they do like this, right? They do like this. This is function, right? Same thing, right? This one can and this one also can, but yang ini dia advance sikit. Sometimes it might not work, right? Because sometimes it might not work, but sometimes it works, sometimes it might not work. So if, right, I'm telling you, if you're reading some of the codes, right, you look at the documentation, for example, just now, you might see macam arrow, you might see the arrow. This is another way of creating a function, but ada trick a little bit. So ada trick. Sometimes it does not really work, especially if you're passing parameter. I tell you, especially if you're passing parameters. Macam ni kan, data ni you nak pakai kat sini, sometimes it might not work properly. Okay, so that one you have to be careful a little bit. And then, alright, this is callback. Alright, this part, all this is called a callback. They call this macam pyramid, right? So they call it, it's like a pyramid. They call this callback hell or pyramid of doom, right? Callback hell or pyramid of doom. And there are certain ways for you to clean up your code easily, right? There are certain ways that you can clean up your code. That's the last thing that we're going to do for today. So I can do here async_fun.js, right? You call it async_fun.js. Alright, you have something like this as well. var fs equals to require fs console.log begin reading file. Alright, this is normal lah. And then I'm going to call the function read file. So fs.read file. I'm going to, the first parameter of read file is the file name, right? Input.txt. Okay, that's the first parameter. The second parameter is the function callback just now, right? The second parameter is the callback function just now. If you remember, the function callback will have error and data as parameter. So what you're going to do, you go up, right? You go up, you will create a function append file, kan? Because after read, you're going to append. Right, so you create a function append file. Inside append file, it will take the output of this, which is air and data as parameter. So air data. Then you continue if air console dot log air, if not console dot log data dot toString. And then you pass this function as the second parameter. Okay, cuba fahamkan ini dulu, try to understand it. So if you run this, I clear up my txt file. Apa ni? Sorry. Asing fang. Okay. Begin reading file. Hello world. Welcome to me. Right. So it works the same way. Okay, you know what you need to do. Finish the rest. All right, same thing. Using this principle, try to finish the rest. Kali ini you cannot have. Just now, we were from here. All right, we were from here. Then we go to a pyramid like this. We go like this. Tangga, right? It remind me of our module 1 exercise. Now it's like this, but the rules is everything need to be selari, right? Cannot have sync, but everything need to be aligned, right? Everything need to be selari. Okay, boleh? Clear? Got the same result? Diam aja.
Cikgu.
Yes.
Add fs append before if ke macam mana?
Mana? Sorry.
fs.append file
Fs append.
at line before line 6.
Tak, sebab dia ni kan, dekat sini basically dia akan ada console, macam tadi lah, just like just now, console.log finish reading file kan. Dia macam tadi, just like just now, sama je konsep dia. Alright, but the idea is you can tak boleh nak sangat. You cannot go like that. Everything need to be aligned. So then you will have your console, alright, console dot log begin appending file, but now you have a problem because you will have an fs.append file. The first one is the file name, alright, the first one is the file name. The second one is the data to append. And then the third one macam mana? The third one, alright, you cannot do like this. If you do like this, then dia akan macam ni. Alright. So how do you define the third one? That's the challenge, right? That's the challenge.
So yang tadi website Node.js tu kan, yang bahagian apa async append tu kan, saya boleh bagi link address ni tak? Sebab saya cari-cari dalam website Node.js tak jumpa.
Oh, this one. Append file, fs dot append file, fs dot append file.
Dia dalam tab apa?
Sorry?
Dia dalam, kalau dekat yang navbar belah kiri tu nak tekan mana satu?
Oh, you open fs file system. Okay, one more. Can or not? So dekat what do we put here? So after append you will read kan? After append you will reread. So then you create a function here. Function reread file. What is the parameter for reread? The parameter for reread is the output of append. Tengok balik append kan? The parameter for reread is the output of append. So the output of append is error only. So error. So function, right? And then this one you will call it here lah, right? Reread file. And then you will do console. Betul ni? Kat ni. Okay. Console.log console.log finish append file. Console.log begin rereading file. Then I will have to read lah. fs.read file input.txt. Last one. After reread, finish reread. So finish reread file. So create a new file here which is called create a new function, finish reread file, masukkan, you put in air and data. Alright, same thing. If return data, return error. If not, console.log data.toString. Okay. I'm sure that you guys want the screenshot for the number lah, ya. 1 to 13. The important part is you try to understand the flow. Okay, bukan the flow. You have to understand the formula lah. This is actually this is how it works. This is how it works. So this is actually how it works.
Cikgu, just one question.
Yes.
ERR ni memang reserve keyword
ERR ni dia tak reserve keyword, but it's always there to mean error. But it's actually a variable. All these orange things is actually a variable name. So if I want to put a problem also can, but this one need to be the same lah. Alright, but normally we always use error. Data pun we always get. This one I want to put maklumat also can, but if I use maklumat here, I will have to do it here. So basically, the name doesn't really matter, but important is the first one will always return an error. The second one will always return the data. That's what it does. But if possible, jangan tukar lah, don't change the name. But suddenly, if you some people put error lah. So why error, not ARR? No, because this one can always be renamed. Alright, but what is important is the first one will tell you what's the error. So that's how it works in this module.
Sebab dia function any name, lepas tu first parameter, second parameter, betul?
Yes, first parameter will always return an error. Second parameter will always return the data. Dia punya maklumat, the information. If you want to learn how to read a documentation, you read here. The first one will always take the path. The second one will always take the data. Then it will return a function. Right? The function callback will always return an error as the first parameter. This is how you read it.
Thank you, sir.
I think for batch 24 macam terperanjat je tapi, right? You might be ni. The reason is because I will tell you why. Because kalau, alright, if it's according to difficulty kan, module 1 is of course the easier one, module 2 is number 3, module 3 is the second one yang paling susah is module 3 lah, but the most difficult part is actually module 2. So you all macam susah lah, right? Actually yours is susah di tengah, alright, but it will get easier in the end. But for them, dia macam ni lah. For them, it's like a tangga, right? So now it's easy. It goes up. Well, not that hard, but slightly difficult than module 1, and then only they do module 2. So that's why I think for you guys, the level is that so far ahead. But this is just try to grasp the concept. I think if you need to understand something, you only need to understand this part first. This one tak apa. This one is okay. This one you take your time. Just understand this part because you need to understand how you read the file. That's it. You need to understand how you read it. It's no longer from top to the bottom. If you remember, and later you check back your video. Sometimes you ask to put down lah. Sometimes you ask to put outside the curly bracket lah. Because in the first time, and you don't know how to do it. It's always after doing how to read is while doing it, do the following. If you want it after doing it, it has to be inside the curly bracket. Right? After this, do this. It always has to be inside the curly bracket. Okay, any questions? Okay, tomorrow I'm going to teach you how to use Git command line. All right, so before you come to class, please download Git SCM. All right, please download Git SCM. For those who have, for Faiz and David and Walid, I think you already have it. So download first and then install it. All right, download first and install it. But for three of you, actually, I baru perasan, I also just use GitHub this week. I pun cuti juga macam you all. I just use GitHub this week and I figured out that there's a change on GitHub. So your GitHub tu macam the command line you need to set, you need to do a settings, then only you can upload the thing back to GitHub. Alright, so tomorrow we can see it. We can see it as well. Where's my GitHub slide? Takkan tak ada slide GitHub. This is my morning class, so ignore the name because I think there's no secret as well. Sometimes I have morning class at my office, so this is my morning class. Just ignore the name, because if not, kalau tak nanti tak habis hari ni if we try to look for it. So when you install, you follow this part, right? Just go to the download Git installer, right? Whenever we just pay attention as this, whenever we prompt, tick on install Git with CLI as below, and then that's it, right? Then tomorrow we do together. So that hari ni actually boleh kan? Today also you know how to do it, alright? Today. How to upload this to GitHub is almost the same as module 1. You can just drag. But if then starting from next week, you have more files, you have folders and everything. Then it will be tiring to upload it one by one, right? You can upload the entire folder using command line. Okay, any questions? Any question? Today, I think everyone terperanjat. Alright. Unfortunately, we will do together as well the exercise in freecodecamp. There is this Node.js part, but I don't really like it. Right, I don't really like it. It's confusing a little bit. That's unfortunately, there is no such thing as freecodecamp as per previous module that you can practice if you need clarification. So the only way for you to do it is just to rewatch back the video in case you need more clarification. Just to do back. Okay, any questions? If not, we can we are still